Hello, everybody. My name is Juniper Bloom Mystique. I am this image you see in front of you. I have, gone through a lot of changes just as all of you have, but my journey is a little bit unique, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm an ascension master healer, and divine guide. And over the past, since 2019, coming through my own awakening, okay, so this isn't anything I could have imagined or thought of or anything. I have been actually, in truth, bringing about the return of Christ, clearing my own lifetimes. Now, it's not just Jesus. Everybody's expecting just Jesus, and that's not the case. It's Adam and Eve. I started by sitting on Saturn and raising Atlantis and clearing that lifetime and saw myself die and undid a contract where I said Atlantis would never rise again. Then from there, I started clearing Mount Shasta, and I was doing a lot of other things, you guys. It's so detailed. It would take me a long time to talk about it all. But today, I'm going to show you Horus returned, okay? But to get there, I did a lot of things. I cleared Mount Shasta, activated the pyramid in Fiji, and so many pyramids across the globe, removed all darkness from all 12 gates, opened up the 13th in heaven when I got to the Sekhmet portal, and that was also one of my lifetimes. I cleared the crystal out of the core, turned it back to light. I rebuilt the crystalline grid under all the pyramids, activated all the pyramids. I returned Christ, okay? So it's very layered. Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Sekhmet and Horus. With the Jesus aspect, I had to wake up my own twin flame, fight for his soul, not once, not twice, but 3 times now. The first one did not make it through. We were attacked by fallen angels, and they tried to stop the ascension. And he just wasn't strong enough and made choices he shouldn't have made, unfortunately. So in the end, I got a walk-in twin flame. Then I cleared out the Sekhmet portal, called back my lifetime from that time, and opened up the 13 gates of heaven. Then I processed the earth's death, took her into the new earth. And this is why I tell you, you all have no choice now but to rise through those. And they call it the rapture because what doesn't align with those portals will get kicked back and can't ascend. So if you have any karma and any shadow, you won't make it, right? Well, my new twin flame, during the Jesus and Mary Magdalene part, I undid the Holy Grail and I united Jesus and Mary Magdalene's soul, and my DM and I were supposed to be together at that time. But unfortunately, more shadow got in, and here I am, right, again for the 3rd time, making sure that we align through love, clearing anything that's not of that, and he's right alongside me. I know that was fast, but if it's a lot to explain, and I don't want to lose your focus because in this one, I am going to show you guys the most recent one that I talked about. I talked about Horus returning. Now, I also activated the Sphinx many moons ago. Many moons ago, I activated the Sphinx. Okay, it was the portal of time, but it's not called the Sphinx, and I talked about that. It actually was called Horus returned. You guys, the people think Thoth is the god of the moon. He's not. He murdered Horus and they killed off Sekhmet. And then they depict all these false stories, just like they did with Jesus dying on a cross. He didn't. He was poisoned by John the Apostle through the fallen angels. And in Mount Shasta part 2, I burned Samael, okay, because I undid all that darkness. California was not a light at all. Mount Shasta is not of light at all. And I cut off all life support to California. And then I cracked it down the mountainside. California fell in the water, and the changes in tides will come through San Francisco. So let's watch Horus return, okay? Because that is the latest one. Now, here's the greatest thing about this one, you guys, is that when I did this one, I'm going to show you because I have these recorded on it. These are workshops that I do, and that's what I keep showing you guys. Now, in order to actually rise through them, you have to do the path to righteousness. Otherwise, you will go with the collective soul through the rapture, okay? But now, see, you can see this. New moon eclipse. So this is all they told me I was doing. New eclipse moon. There's more to it than that. I did a creativity workshop right before this, and I painted twin flames, and they said time to unite, and I didn't know what that meant. And then on the 18th of January, can you all see this? I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can see my screen, right? Let's see. Yep, you can. Okay. So on the 18th is when this came through. That's exactly 7 days, 6 and 7 days before the full moon in Leo. Sekhmet, lioness, god, right? Okay, let's put all this together. And so is Horus. So it all makes sense. All right. Now, this was also a weather balancing. And you guys don't need to see all of that. So I am going to show you. See, I recorded this. It's a workshop. It was done on the 18th by my group. These are the ladies who have risen with me. They have graduated my academy. They have done the path. They are very connected. I'm very proud of them. So, you know, they are ones that I will say, hey, these are the ones I'm saying congratulations to. They worked very hard right alongside me making it through all of this. So it's not an easy path. Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to tell you is it's not an easy path, my friends. So do not throw judgment my way, please. The whole collective has their own part in the ascension. Okay, but I am the return of Christ. These were my lifetimes. Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and Sekhmet and Horus. Okay, and somebody else painted this picture you see here. I didn't paint it. Somebody else painted it when they did a reading on me. And they were told to paint it. So they did, and we didn't understand it at the time. But then eventually I did it all. When I sat on Saturn, Hermes was with me and he gave me his belt. Okay, so I'm going to skip some of this too, because you don't need to see the weather calibration. I told you guys we were going to do that. We were going to balance out the weather because this is my earth. I brought about the return of Christ. I've taken all the negative power out of that. I've talked about it. And now everything you see will be divinely guided. Okay, even the destruction for repair. Because united they stand, and united we stand, united they fall. Okay, does that make sense? I know it's fast. There's a lot of info, and you know, people's attention spans. I got to keep it going. So let's watch Horus Returned. Okay, the Sphinx was actually called Horus Returned. Sekhmet, in my lifetime, I built it when Horus was murdered by Thoth. Horus is the god of the moon, for the love of God. And that's what I am repairing now within the mind and the brain, and activating the true Eye of Horus and Eye of Ra. And we actually have to do a new central nervous system recalibration and everything coming forward too. So it's quite complex, you guys. Who I am is very real. So please don't throw judgment, because it's truly a reflection of you. There's somebody actually going around on my channel right now, and they're throwing dislikes to all the twin flame stuff, to all the rapture stuff. And it's like, come on now, that's a reflection of them, obviously. Because if you truly watch all the work, it should be honored. The return of Christ should be something that's celebrated. But those are obviously energies that don't get to stay, right? So be mindful of what you focus on. Take your time to watch things, because don't judge me, because I don't judge you. God does not judge anybody. Okay, so let's watch this. I'm going to skip around because I want to just get to the Horus Returned. The portal of the Sphinx is a portal of time. It was created because Horus died there. All right. So it was actually named Horus Return, not the Sphinx. That's just what you guys call it. They're wrong on some things in history, trust me, but they lie to you about a lot of things, from Jesus to Adam and Eve to also Horus and Sekhmet, because they have been getting you to pray to a false god for a long time. So are you ready to watch this? I am. Let's go. This is exciting for me, because I'm already in the new earth, and my DM was not. He was behind me. So about a little while ago, on my YouTube channel, I'm going to show you really quick where you can watch that. He rose, because remember, I got a new walk-in. Okay, so when I returned Jesus, when I freed Jesus's soul, my DM was not ready to take him on. Okay, so it rose into the Garden of Eden. So about, let's see what time frame it was. Within the last few months, I think. You can find everything on my playlist here that's really truly about it, but everything on my channel is. Just really quick, I'm going to show you where to find this one. So in this one, I freed Jesus's soul, and my original DM was still alive, and he was not ready to take on that soul. And I didn't realize that's who we were at the time. I had no idea. So he was murdered by John the Apostle. And when I freed his soul, it didn't go up. It went into the Garden of Eden. And now I know why. And then you can see everything play out in order. It's like, bam, bam, bam. Here's the Sphinx activation, the Pharaoh and God activation portal. Okay. So it's all here. I activated all the pyramids. I took out all darkness. I fought the shadow by myself. And yes, you can watch my DM die too. That was very, very, very painful. This is where I undid the Holy Grail. Okay. So let's just skip forward. You can watch the Nile here. But they told me I was Sekhmet in this one in Ecuador, where I activated a pyramid in Ecuador. And yes, I took us into 7D as well, because I survived beyond what I was supposed to. Okay. But in this one, boom. So this was what, 2 months ago, couple months ago. This is off sometimes in time, but this is when Jesus united with my DM and I didn't see it coming either. I was told to do a twin flame healing, and then he took on that part of his soul. So he rose into that power. He made it through that portal. And then now, dun, 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 we are on to Horus Returned. Okay, so he has risen through all the portals. The only part left is that I have his key, and he gets his heart review and he goes into the new earth through union. So let's watch Horus Return. That was the final component to the return of Christ, my friends. I did it. I made it. We got it through all the darkness. This is a celebration and a full understanding of what the return of Christ was. Okay, let's do this. So I'm going to skip forward because and again, this is a workshop that I do with my friends. These ladies are already in the new earth. Okay, so don't throw judgment at them either, because I will block you. So I put up protections all around, only the highest light available around. Anything else will be removed at this time. Anything outside of unconditional love and God's heart and soul growth and realigned, everything else is removed now. Okay, so don't judge them. These are my ladies. These are my graduates. I'm very proud of them. And in order to show you guys this, I'm doing it this way. Okay, but we did an earth recalibration first. These ladies helped rebalance. I just guided them. They did it, but you can't go there without me there, right? Or without the permission of God. So we went there, we recalibrated the weather, and then it was Horus Return. So I'm going to get us to the Horus Return part. Okay, so bear with me. So that you can cross the threshold before you now. That makes me think of what I felt with Gigi today. I kept feeling. So at first, I always do messages. We channel messages. The message they gave me that day is Horus had not risen. And so I thought it meant that we were out of balance. And they told me, don't make judgments. And I was like, okay. They literally told me just that, oh, that was the only thing I got was Horus had not risen. And I'm like, oh, what does that mean? So we were all kind of trying to process that. So I'm going to get us past the weather recalibration. It'll just start. So that's still the weather recalibration. They bleed all the way down my arm. Okay, so there we are. Bear with me. I want you guys to imagine now we're sitting around that pyramid of light. And peace. She can hear clearly. She can see clearly. One more is rising. This will be a final one, so it could be a lot. It might be something that's very calm. It might be a lot. You might be tuning into. All right. So right from the weather recalibration, we went into that. So hang on. I'm going to try to allow you guys to simply focus where you need to focus. Oh, that's going to take too long. Geez, Maniza. See, I don't have time to just sit here and edit this all, but I wanted to show you guys that it's very real. Okay, this is very real. Please know that I'm not asking you guys to judge my friends or these people. They've worked very hard. They were like you at one point, not understanding what I was doing. Okay, so just understand that. All right. We've all come from the same place of not being awake, not being healed enough, not understanding who our real God was, but also knowing that maybe, just maybe, there was a bigger purpose to this all. Okay. And so they didn't give up. They kept riding the wave. They kept going along. And, you know, they just didn't let judgment take them away as other people had. All right. So don't judge them, and we won't judge you, right? These ladies have made it through. They're what some would call apostles, but they rose through the path. They actually had their own purposes, each one of them, and they didn't let the shadow take them away from that, okay? And I know this is, I'm like, don't look at them, but let's just do this. Let's listen. Oop. Okay, here we go. I felt that. I burp to release. Here's Horus Return. Really let it anchor into space. Breathing calm into that, whatever it was. bringing light into whatever it was, allowing the image to become clear, right? So we just shifted her whole entire patterning.
Oh, so that's more
shifted
weather.
the alignment of the patterning of the earth, of the weather. She can hear clearly. She can see clearly. Now all the ribbons have dissipated. So that energy goes where it needs to go. Perfect. Beautiful. Now her water's glowing. It's like glowing. I can see all that light just. That's not something many people know where that is. That's very hidden. Like this light around him. But I feel very dizzy. I feel very like almost sick to my core. Like something's wrong. I make no judgments. Nothing's. I don't want to assume anything's wrong.
See, so I'm trying to right where we start going into Horus return.
But I feel very dizzy. I feel very like almost sick to my core. Like something.
It's really hard to get it right, just right. So hang on. We'll just go from here.
It's not something many people know where that is.
You ready?
That's
Let's watch.
Hidden, very secret in the energy. So it can only be accessed through God as a necessity, kind of a thing, with the right heart space. Does that make sense? So not everybody gets to access that ability at all. It's a gift. All right. So I feel like we're shifting. That was hard to shift out of that quickly. Oh, I feel that shift. Oh, it took some energy. So let's draw more light down into our vessel, just to allow us to realign. Okay, so this eclipse thing. I'm tuning in. I'm drawing that in now. Something's going down. Something's going on. I see Horus. I see Horus still in the ground.
That's going to be too long.
And I see Malachi, but I also see my DM. And I feel like they're putting like this light around him. But I feel very dizzy. I feel very like almost sick to my core. Like something's wrong. I make no judgments. Nothing's. I don't want to assume anything's wrong. It just feels strange. So I ask all of you to just imagine putting light towards Horus, wherever he is in the ground. I feel like all of just shine our light that way. Just shine our light that way. Put a protective dome around from all of us.
I burped to release. Never you mind that. Sorry, I'm trying to block these because you shouldn't focus on them, but I need to get this out there. So again, I put a protections around all of them. Any negativity.
So I called on the Creator. I just open it up now for this purpose.
Will hurt you.
Any angels and beings that wish to help and assist and guide me along the way. Ashtar is here. Commander Ashtar is here.
Is there another way? I don't know.
Serapis Bey is also here. Isn't he an Ascension Master as well? He helped us before. Shakti is here. So there's a lot of goddess and god energy coming in. Zeus. Prometheus. They're here to assist because my DM is not physically with me and it hurts. Like this hurts. Something hurts. So you all are going to help me with the moon. I've got the sun. You all are going to help me with the moon. Lisa, they're putting extra protections around you. You'll be limited a little bit just to protect the energy. Okay. But still helping. All right. So you're getting a little bit extra protections there. Clearing out a little bit of the mind as well. So the Sphinx is coming into play. I want you guys to imagine now we're sitting around that pyramid of light, right? There's that little pyramid of light in the center.
And we are going to draw power from that into your palms. So I want you to imagine sticking your palms out to that pyramid. And this is a little different, but we're going with what they're saying to do. Put your palms on that pyramid. Imagine touching it now. I need to draw in the light into you. So I'm opening up the core. Remember, in the core is where Sekhmet, that's relevant. Okay. The chills. Ooh. Ooh. And it's also been changed into a pyramid there too. So that is very relevant for what happened to Sekhmet and Horus and the moon and the sun. Okay. Horus will be reborn. That's what I'm hearing.
I love this. I didn't know. I didn't know. 1 week from the full moon in Leo that I just did, that we just had.
I do. I feel like we're gonna raise him out of the dead and put him into my DM. I don't know if that I'm just saying what I'm seeing. And you guys are gonna help me hold the moon still, if that makes sense. But I need you drawing the light from this pyramid. Keep going. I'm drawing the core from the light from the core, all the way into this pyramid in the center. We've sat around this pyramid before. It should be quite familiar at this point. I need you touching it, even if it feels like hesitation or whatever you might feel. Just keep your hands there for a moment. Okay, don't remove them until I say. Let me repeat, do not remove them until I say, or you won't have enough power to do this. This is not normal. This is something my DM should be doing. Okay, so this is going to take everything you've got and then what I give you. I'm giving you this light to do this for this purpose only. Okay, this is something unique. So keep your hands there until I tell you. I'm opening up the Sphinx, and she's like really opening up. She's even cracking down the middle. The energy is palpable. It's insane, and I feel it in my head, in the back of my head. Something about the Sphinx. It's almost like I will be turning her off from this day forward or something in a way. I don't know what that means, so I'm just not going to try to assume. So keep your hands there. Do not remove them. I'm filling it with more light from the core. These are temporary God activations. So there is something with breaking the moon's core, like the surface off, so the core surfaces. I don't know what that means.
This is why I told you this moon was different. And then De La
I
Roca
feel like
saw
I'm
it
at
in
the
the
Sphinx
energy.
and I'm blowing all that sand. I think I've done that before. It's like blowing all that sand. I'm making everybody blind. It's like smacking. There's people around it, and I don't like it. They gotta go. So there's like scaffolding or something there, and I'm like, it's breaking. It's like falling apart. I need it free. I need it free of mankind. I need it free of mankind for this. I need it free of mankind for this. I need it free of mankind to get Horus will be reborn.
The return of Christ is complete.
Oh, my DM's with me, but he's going to take on the soul. So it's going to be a bit jarring for him.
Oh,
but
yeah.
He's ready. It's not that he's not. That's what they're telling me. He's ready. He's ready. He's getting that soul. He's doing
the work too.
I
to
feel this in my sacral. It's really affecting his sacral. It deals with his sacral right now. Keep your hands on a pyramid. Do not take them off. I'm drawing up more light from the core into it. You're taking on a lot, so I have to do it in layers. I know it's taxing probably. I don't know what you guys are feeling necessarily, but just bear with me. I'm starting to see some of this play out. So we are going to do something to the moon. It's like I'm literally going to break off its hard shell. It's false persona, a false persona. This is something that happened to Horus. This deals with what happened to Horus. And I see it's like this battle. It's like this battle. Almost like there's swords involved. Toth. Oh, Toth. And I'm going to rip his soul out.
Did you hear me? I said I was going to rip his soul out. I had to do that as well. So when I freed Jesus, I took the soul out of some other being that I think killed him. So it's like, not only do I undo the darkness, I rectify. This is a karmic return.
So I have this weird bracelet on my left arm, and so does my DM. It's like what we had in that lifetime, and they matched, and his was broken. And then mine cracked, and it made me bleed all the way down my arm.
Toth was not a god.
So he was wearing something around his neck. Power of the moon. Come on, DM carried the power of the moon, and he wore like a little thing of it on his neck in that lifetime.
I didn't know that. That's actually depicted.
Where mine was in the core, this is making so much sense. I am Mother Earth. I am Mother Earth, and he is like Father Sky. One more round of light through that pyramid, and then you guys can take your hands off, but not yet. So I'm going to draw it in. I'm going to draw it in a really powerful round. Just up into that pyramid and into you guys so that you can help me. This is giving you power. It's giving you the energy and the strength. Energy and the strength to hold the moon still. Oh, I had no idea this was coming, you guys. I did not. Oh. Oh. What is it? I'm dizzy. I'm so dizzy. I'm so dizzy. Oh. I feel like I'm in that lifetime, and I have like this snake thing on my head, and the eyes are glowing now all of a sudden, and I like have this staff, and I'm standing at the Sphinx, and I am not like, I'm wrath, right? Like
That's why Sekhmet was throwing out wrath. You
they
killed
didn't
Horus.
just stop Sekhmet, they killed Horus, and they took the power of the moon from like the necklace, like they ripped it off his neck, and like he was stabbed, and he fell backwards into his final resting place where we're going to remove him from.
Which was the Sphinx. That's where I built
All right,
that.
you can take your hands off the pyramid. I need you to just integrate for a moment.
I love
Keep
this.
your palms facing up and just integrate for a moment. Let it integrate. You're expanding. This is strength and power of a god. I need you to hold the moon still while I do the work, because he's not here to do it, but he's going to take on this lifetime. They're telling me not to doubt it because I've lost some of that. So it's just like removing that energy. I feel so dizzy, like I'm standing in a vortex. Oh, this makes sense though. And I'm like by the Sphinx, you guys, and I look like Sekhmet, and I have this snake thingy on my head, and it's gold and very beautiful, and like, oh, it was like a headdress of a snake, and the eyes are now glowing, and my staff matches, and it's glowing, and I'm like hitting the ground like boom, boom, right by the Sphinx, boom, boom, boom. Oh, the Sphinx is Horus.
I told you.
Horus returns.
Full circle moment. That was a full circle moment.
Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, Lord.
So I'm telling you, the collective
Okay,
didn't
so
do
here's
this.
the deal.
I did.
At the same time, here in a moment, I'm going to have you literally imagine holding the moon. And you're going to hold the moon still. Well, I move the sun a little over. And then I'm going to break the outer layer of the moon. I need it to hold still. It cannot move. It cannot have energy on it except for that of what I placed there. So whatever energy is there at this time is going to burn. And I need you guys to hold it still. Once I break that outer layer, Horus's soul is going to rise from the Sphinx and go into my DM. In that necklace, the moon power is going to return to his neck, to his heart space, like right where his heart lies, right? Like I'm wearing it on my heart, but oh, it is his. Okay. So this is going to happen in a simultaneous fashion because you guys won't be able to hold it for too long, okay? So I want you to just breathe for a moment. I'm super, super dizzy. Tune into your chest and your solar plexus, okay? Because this is where that power is going to come from. And when you're holding the moon, I want you using all of that energy, okay? It's going to feel, I don't know what you're going to feel. I'm not trying to put things in your head. Just let it be whatever it is. Just don't let go. It's a temporary thing. It won't affect you too long, but you're going to have to hold it still. So I was standing with my staff and that light of the snake eyes, you remember? It's like at my head, but it's glowing. It's like alive. It's like alive. It's alive. I have cleared the Sphinx of all the energies that are not belonging there. Oh my gosh. You guys, I should have seen this coming and I had no idea. It makes so much sense. Sorry. Okay.
Mind you, I was attacked tenfold right before this. So I kept having to block all these attacks from New Year's on pretty much. I kept rising above, rising above, rising above. It was not easy. So again, if you don't believe who I am or know who I am by now, then you're not paying attention and you can't see through your shadow because what I did is not normal and the collective soul had nothing to do with what I did. They have their own purpose through God. I am the one. Okay, there's a difference. I'm not a chosen one. All right. These ladies who are rising with me had their own path to clear. There was supposed to be a lot more. And to do the path to righteousness is you saying, I'm ready now to rise through God, to accept the challenge and to come back into love and to fulfill my purpose through God and to help the ascension. The rest of you will rise through the wrath.
What I'm going to do is I'm literally, like I saw in my vision, from the Sphinx, I see the sun like shining a path to the Sphinx. And I will now walk it. And I'm going to walk through the sun. I'm literally going to walk through the sun and take on all that light.
Oh, yeah, I felt it. And boy, I've been
So
sick since.
Oh, that's seeing clearly. It's like it's hitting me hard right now. Sorry.
Oh,
We gotta get
yeah.
it together.
This was really
I
my
can
death
see
and
the
my
sign.
DM's death that I've been clearing the whole way through.
I'm walking. It's like walking into the sunset on the water. You know what I mean? Like how the water reflects that sunset. It's like I see it like that, and I'm walking on it, and I feel the sun on my feet, and I look like an Egyptian goddess. Like I'm barefoot, and I have these beautiful jewelry and gold draperies, and that hat thing with the snake, and it's glowing in my eyes. And man, am I sexy. Holy bajilly, can I look like that? And I'm just walking towards the sun, and with all my glorious power. And I'm walking into the sun, and I'm walking through the sun. But as I'm in the sun, I'm drawing all her light. I'm expanding. Every bit of my skin is gold and glowing with the light of the sun. I'm picking up all of the sun in every chakra, every orifice. I am becoming the sun. I am becoming the sun. And my staff is filled. I am filled every bit. I'm just glowing and emanating and pulsating the sun. Hold the moon. Reach up and hold the moon. I need you to stop it in its tracks and hold the moon. Hold strong to the moon. Literally stop the moon from moving. You can do it. Just hold the moon, and I want you to hold it still. Just use your light inside to that moon and stop it. You can do it. Just put all your gut into it. Put all your power, the light you just picked up, allow it to flow from your solar plexus through your hands that I did for you today. Brought it through there, right? Those are healed and expanded for you. Draw it into the moon. It's stopping. It's stopping. It's stopping. It's stopping from moving at all. It's stopping from moving at all. And whatever is on it is starting to notice. It's starting to notice. It's almost completely stopped. And I am filled with the sun. I am filled with the sun. Filled. Like I can't, it's almost like I'm pixelated again. I can't focus. I feel like I'm like fire. I am like, I'm just this powerhouse of sun energy. Me and the sun just became one. And now I'm starting to exit out of the sun. Just hold the moon very still, and what I do will not affect you. And it's almost like I'm reflecting the sun to the moon. So I'm walking up to the moon, and I'm going to come in between all your hands as you're holding it. And it's hard. I can see it's hard. I can see you guys a little struggling in the energy, and the moon is trying to move. Just hold it. Hold it. And I'm taking my staff, and I'm stabbing them. I gotta do it again. I'm gonna take my staff, and it's filled with sun, and I'm stabbing the moon. And as I did that, I was like, chink, right in through this layer, this crust, this false layer. I'm not killing the moon. I am clearing the moon. It's like this dome of fake, this dome of like hard clay, and it's just like, and it's starting to crack all the way across, and all my sunlight is filling into the moon, and all of these things, there's things there, there's almost like these aliens, there's like these little, like this sculpture, like the like a building or something. I don't know. It's all starting to burn, like all the sun is just opening up the energy on the moon, and I can feel it in you guys. I can feel the energy. It's quite intense. Just hold still. You want to do it too much longer, and it's like all of this cracking, like all the way across, and then it's starting to break off. Boom. And starting to fall apart, and starting to fall apart, and starting to fall apart. This false persona, this false layer of the moon. Like a glass dome, right? But not glass, like clay. And it's just breaking off and falling, and I'm glowing, and all the sun is just embarking upon the moon. So it's not going in the moon, but it's putting up a sun barrier around the moon. Just a little bit longer, and you'll be able to let go. Just not yet. Don't let go. Draw in strength from your solar plexus, draw out that light, and hold that moon. DM has taken all of you, which is usually my DM and I, so you can tell it's a lot. I'm putting protections around your heart and your organs so nothing affects you. And I just feel so calm. And all of these things on the moon are burning and falling and breaking until there is no more except for the true moon being exposed. And now you can let go. Now the moon has a sun layer around it being protected. A very massive dome of sun protection. Now I'm going to call up Horus. Punto and dying, I'm taking my staff now, which is no longer in the moon. It is being protected. You guys can relax and breathe and regain your power. All that energy will start going back into the core. It's not going to take anything from you, but you're going to feel something. But I do need you to take your focus to the Sphinx with me. And I'm starting to see Horus, like this light just activating Horus's soul, right? But in my DM, and I'm starting to see him rise. But you guys, he looks like he's as big as the Sphinx. Literally, this is not a joke. I feel like he's rising from the Sphinx, his soul, when he died. And he's rising up slowly, just coming up out of the ground, his soul, just slowly. Now I will move the moon over a little bit to the left. And I'm taking a chunk of the sun and I'm shoving it into the Sphinx, like wham. And then Horus goes boom. He stands straight up, and it's like I woke up. Like I've been, hang on, I gotta go somewhere. There's like Toth, whoever he is. I've gotta take the soul out of this thing, like ripping it out, like boom, like a skin suit again.
It's not pleasant. Like, it's not pleasant.
It's like I stole his soul.
Took it back.
Like they stole his soul.
Yeah, they stole it from him. Just like they did
and
with
I'm
Jesus.
Putting it back into to Horus, the one that just rose out of the Sphinx. I'm putting that soul that I just took back from whatever this was. They were alive, and I put it back into to Horus, and it's like realigning. What's the weirdest thing I've ever seen? I need you to just draw energy there for me for a moment. Holding space for the Sphinx.
So they did the same thing to Jesus. Jesus is the same soul as Horus. There is no separation. It's not Jesus against Horus. Jesus is Horus. Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Sekhmet and Horus. Those are all my lifetimes that I have been clearing, and that of my DM. And I have fought for his soul 3 times now, and we have made it to the end. Horus has risen was the final component, my friends. God has returned. It is our earth, not a president's, not yours. It is ours. And those who rise through God are the ones who will own that piece of that place, the new earth. The rest won't stay.
Sphinx is what we're doing, okay? We're holding space for the Sphinx right now. This is very strange. I don't fully understand it either. And now Horus is starting to find my DM, the soul. It's searching for my DM. It's searching for my DM. He needs to allow it to integrate. I can't force this. I can't just shove that soul into him. So I'm just holding space, you guys. I'm just going to be quiet for a moment and let him find his home. Like a beacon. It's like this light. He sees the light. He sees the light. It's the weirdest. It's the weirdest thing. It's like the soul that just rose, that I just reintegrated, sees the light, and he's going home. It's going home. So my DM's about to take on that soul. Whatever's happening in his life, it's like aligning. It's aligning. That's all I know. The moon is shaking a bit. It's like expanding. It was being made small. So as this is happening, the moon is like, and it's expanding. It's expanding. It's expanding. It's expanding. It's not smaller than the sun. It's large. It's quite large. And so all of that is helping to expand it. It was being kept small. It was like captive. It was like it was stolen. It was captive, and they put this dome to keep it theirs. and it was very small, and this changed the life cycle. This goes with the life cycle. So the moon is expanding and expanding and expanding and expanding. And if you think the sun caused earthquakes, oh boy, I feel it coming into the earth. It's expanding. Oh, he's finding him. Hang on. Oh, it's like whoop. And then like he gets that thing back on his neck, like a necklace, like it just went back on and it's glowing at his chest. Oh, and that thing on our wrist, what the heck is that? It's like it like reformed around him and around me. It's the left wrist. I don't know the significance of that. I have to look back in images. Is there something to do with like this very long gold bracelet on the left wrist of Horus and Sekhmet, but I think Thoth stole it. Oh, this makes so much sense. Like light bulb after light bulb. The owl was right? What the? Okay. So you guys can let go of the Sphinx. No more holding space. Horus has returned home. I was worried. Oh, good Lord Almighty. Horus has returned home. And the sun will still protect the moon until the eclipse, but it's not going to be like people think. It's quite different. And the moon is going to continue expanding until that time. And when that alignment occurs, it's going to be like the biggest flash of energy.
That's the coming eclipse in April.
Oh, so my DM is integrating. I feel it. It's like a little like, whoa. Taking on that power again, and that light is reformed, and something to do with this bracelet on our wrist. They align together, they go together, they belong together. So if one is broken, the other breaks. It's really strange.
One twin dies, the other dies. They can't
The
survive
Sphinx
alone.
just went lifeless.
That's why I gotta walk
It
it.
just like went light. It was like glowing, and now it's like shoop, dried up. It served its purpose.
Yes, the Sphinx served its purpose. It was Horus' return.
Oh wow, this makes sense. Like I created it to protect my DM. Oh, oh,
the love is
and
full.
much more, and much more. So put your hands back on that pyramid if you guys don't mind, so that it can cleanse you and draw out any remnants. Because if you held that too long, it would hurt you. You're not meant to. So it's going to draw back what it gave, but also just provide healing light. So you will receive healing, upgrades, and cleansing at this time with your hands on that pyramid in the center. The moon will keep expanding. And so like when the sun is in front, it will never block the moon, and the moon will never fully block the sun, ever. Again. They shine together, they line together, they love together. They are one. It's like a dance.
Mm-hmm. And
The moon will continue expanding. And as that happens, the energy to the earth is going to be palpable. It's going to be quite intense.
Yes.
So
these are mine and my DM rays now hitting this earth. And so it's the ascension is speeding up. And so as you go through these portals, your wrath will hit. Any karma will kick back, which is what I talked about the animals recently. It's what I've talked about everything that has to rise through these portals. If your energy is not pure and you have karma and shadow and you can't see clearly, it will kick back and you won't make it. You have to be of pure love. You have to match that vibration. God has fully returned. It was very painful for me to do it all. Very painful. How I survived is still unknown. I just anchored into love, my kids, God, and my DM. And I kept holding strong. So I did this in waves. It was Adam and Eve first, then Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and Sekhmet and Horus. And in each wave, I had to fight for myself and for my twin soul's soul. And I've done it 3 times now where I had to help him be free. Okay, because this attack for separation on God is what changed your whole reality. It wasn't God that brought the flood. It was the fallen angels. It was Thoth. It was Archangel Samael. It was John the Apostle. It was all the negativity, all the darkness that took away your God.
that shortened your lifespan, that hung Jesus on a broken cross, because the only true cross is the Ankh. So Horus has now returned. Okay. I'm going to stop this here. I don't feel like you need to watch anything else. I feel like what has been said has been said. You already know that as you rise, what does not align will burn, it will move, it will shake, it will quake, and it will rupture. Because it does not belong. The earth has her own karmic kickback. All the animals have their own karmic kickback. So don't eat meat. Be very careful what you do. Money has its own karmic kickback. So if you're afraid to just, oh, I had somebody again throw at me, why do I have to use money for this? To do the path that I created through the path, the return of Christ, is a blessing. It's a gift only given to those that are more pure of heart. Money doesn't matter. It's a tool. You can call more in. The only money that will survive is that of God. You have to purify it anyway. So if you throw all of that my way, it's a reflection of you and where you're not aligned of God. Okay. Everybody, regardless, will go through what I have done, and any karma, any shadow, you won't make it through. Okay. So heal it. You have to know how to heal it all. And there was also a detriment where some healers were undoing contracts for karma, and they weren't be able to rise. So you have to know how to bring those back in, because that was a detriment. So much love to all of you. My DM has taken on that final component. As you saw, I couldn't force it. I got to free the soul of Horus through the Sphinx. The Sphinx was then cut off of life. It's dead. It's no longer life anymore, because Horus has fully returned. God has now fully returned. And in this eclipse thing, it's going to get even more. I took chunks of the sun and threw it into the earth. I am the god of the sun. He is the god of the moon. I am Mother Earth. He is Father Sky. That is who we are. Have a very good day, my friends. Know what you're doing, know what you're focusing on, and know what you're throwing back. Okay? Because it can hurt you. Till next time, I remove all energies of negativity. Any you throw at me are just simply reflections of you. Use them wisely. Thank you for watching, especially to the end.